Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about the Acolyte. We've got a theory for you guys. We're going to be talking about the new Sith Lord that was featured in many of the recent trailers for the Acolyte, which is coming out very soon. And if you want coverage on the channel, please be sure to let me know in the comments down below. But for now, if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Okay, so as I said, this is a video to do with the Acolyte, who is the new Sith Lord under the mask. I have a couple of theories that I'm going to be breaking down. Lots of people online have been talking about this. I'm definitely going to cover some stuff that some of you have heard of before, but some of you probably haven't heard of it and you're just looking forward to the Acolyte and you want to get a little bit of an insight as to who could be behind the mask. So I do love the mystery that they've set up with them actually releasing a good couple of shots of him in the trailer, whoever they are. I mean, it could be absolutely anyone, but we're going to get into that. So if you enjoy this Star Wars video, let me know down in the comments below, because this is my first Star Wars video in a long time. Since we've obviously rebranded the channel, I would like to do more Star Wars videos, so if you guys are interested, keep watching the videos, keep going back, and you know, we're trying to mix it up around here. So yeah, for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main theory. Now, who is this Sith Lord? Who is the mysterious person behind the mask? Are they even a Sith Lord? Could it be a Sith apprentice? Well, let's get into it. So clearly they are extremely powerful. We know that. We've seen them in the trailer knocking over countless Jedis, throwing them around with the Force. So number one, they're really powerful. Number two, let's have a look at the mask. So the mask is great, it looks amazing, it's very mysterious. It has a respirator on it if you look close enough, so that is something significant. So maybe they need it for a reason. Now keep that in mind, right? And if we look at the rest of their costume, you can't really see much because it's very dark, but it's very fitting and in line with the other Sith costumes we've seen for Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, and obviously I'm referring to the ones in live action that we've seen because that's our main kind of reference point for the Star Wars universe that Disney has created. But now let's go back to some more lore, right? Because now we're going to get into who could actually be this mysterious new Sith. So I'm going to say first up, it could be one of two names. It could be Tenebrous or it could be Darth Plagueis. Now many of you guys will remember Darth Plagueis. He was mentioned in Revenge of the Sith. He was Palpatine's master before Palpatine killed him and became the new Sith Lord. And so before Darth Plagueis was Tenebrous. Now Tenebrous actually taught Darth Plagueis, so he was the Sith Lord and Plagueis was his apprentice. And so let's get into this. So could it be Tenebrous or his apprentice, Darth Plagueis, or perhaps it's Tenebrous's apprentice before that? Because it hasn't been established if this is the Sith Lord or not. We need to keep that in mind. We don't know if it's an apprentice or a Sith Lord. And so if we look at timeline wise, this is about 130 years before the Phantom Menace. And if you look at the dates when Plagueis and Tenebrous are supposed to be around, this would actually make Plagueis fairly young at this stage. So if canon is followed, it's more likely to be Tenebrous based on the age and power that he would have at that age. Obviously you have to take into account maybe Plagueis from a young age, you know, like 15, 16, 17, maybe he was really powerful already and he could be this person behind the mask. But also if you look traditionally at how Darth Plagueis is portrayed, he doesn't look very human-like. He has got like this long head and everything, so does that really add up to him? Of course they can make their changes because a lot of Legends was removed back when Disney took over Star Wars, and so that lore isn't exact, and that means that they can play around. So if you look appearance wise, you might be questioning it being Darth Plagueis. Looks wise, it's more likely to be Tenebrous, but could it be Tenebrous's extremely powerful apprentice that maybe Darth Plagueis at a later stage took on and became the apprentice after a saga of events that we might see in this show? Now, of course, we're getting a lot to do with the Sith, a lot to do with the bad guys. It's supposed to be through the perspective of the villains, this TV show. So you could see actually a lot more than just what we're getting in this season 1, because potentially there'll be season 2, season 3, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm really intrigued because there's so much mystery surrounding it. So now if we follow the rule of 2 and we look at the Acolyte, who is supposedly May, right? So the main character that you've been seeing in the trailer, and the Acolyte is most likely either an apprentice or is aspiring to be apprentice. And I truly believe she is not the apprentice of the Sith Lord that we're going to see, but I think she is actually aspiring to live up and become that new apprentice by potentially taking out the Sith Lord's current apprentice. That's what normally happens. Like, you just look at all the Star Wars films, look at Anakin specifically and his relationship with Palpatine, how he gets him to kill Count Dooku, so that leads the way for him to become the new Sith apprentice. So that's literally just common sense when it comes to Star Wars. So as I said, I believe that May is actually killing off these Jedi in aspiration of becoming the new apprentice to prove herself to the Sith Lord. And so I believe that Sith Lord could be the masked figure, but I don't want to 100% commit to that, because I do think at the same time it might not be the Sith Lord, and he could be the apprentice that May is going to have to hunt down and take out in order to become the Sith apprentice herself. And I did want to mention this because I have seen some people theorizing about this, is that it could be not Tenebrous, but it could be Tenebrous' master who is the masked person. So that would mean they are the Sith Lord, and potentially Tenebrous would be featured in the show along with May, and Tenebrous would become the master and May would become Tenebrous' apprentice, or their very first apprentice, which means the ending of the show, if this is the case, could lead into Tenebrous meeting Plagueis for the first time and May being taken out. And so that would be the introduction to that kind of, you know, link up with Tenebrous being the master and Plagueis being the apprentice, and then that would eventually lead into Palpatine. Again, we're too early for Palpatine in terms of the timeline, but then Palpatine would take out Plagueis, and then you would get what we got in the films, right? And so yeah, obviously I'm theorizing and I'm trying to make the most sense out of it, but there are so many ideas that I've got and I'm trying to, you know, give it to you guys, and obviously I'm covering some theories that some of you are saying. And so now let's just take a little bit of a perspective shift. So let's talk about the Jedi here for a minute. Is there a chance that the Jedi who are going to be featured in this TV show are actually going to find out who the Sith Lord is and who the apprentice is? Because they're definitely going to get to the Acolyte, because that is the core aim of the show, right? You're going to see May. You're going to see her facing off against the Jedi many times. We've seen this in the trailers, some scenes they've released with May fighting other Jedi. And so since the Jedi are aware of at least the Acolyte, and in the trailer we see them facing off against this masked Sith, so they know of them, but why hasn't this been talked about? Why was it, you know, a surprise in The Phantom Menace that they've been hiding for such a long time? Well, clearly they aren't hiding in this TV show. So is it the case that potentially all these Jedi that we're going to be seeing, are they all killed off, and is the secret of the Sith being reignited just kept to just a few Jedi for now, and the Sith in the show killed them off? Or are the Jedi victorious, they get rid of 2 of them, but then a few of them are still around, the aspiring ones like Plagueis, who is supposedly young around this period, and then you would have the Acolyte, you would have May. If she is not dead, and if they've killed, say, Tenebrous by this point, well, they could definitely go about it quietly. Once again, if the Jedi stupidly think they've killed them off once and for all, and that leads into Darth Sidious and everything that happened in the films. And so there is one more theory I've got to put out there in regards to who this masked Sith could be. Now, could it be someone completely new? That is just something I wanted to include at the end of this video, just to put it out there, because we know that the reason they are going back to the end of the High Republic era is because it's an era that hasn't been touched upon in live action, so it opens up a whole new canvas for Star Wars and for us to explore and for the showrunner to explore. And I think that is why I'm super excited, because there is no proper boundaries. Yeah, there's stuff, but really that's a lot of Legends stuff that has been discounted. So really they could ignore a lot of Tenebrous and Plagueis. However, we know they do exist in Star Wars lore, in Star Wars canon, but we don't know the ins and outs because we have to ignore really what happened before, and even their appearances can be altered just because of what they've confirmed in terms of what is actually canon and what is not. And so there is always the chance that, you know, this could be a redesigned Plagueis, or this could be a brand new Sith that we've not heard about because they don't have to follow what came before. So guys, let me know down in the comments below, what is your number one theory as to who is this new Sith? Do you think it's a Sith apprentice that the Acolyte's going to have to take on? Or do you think it is a Sith Lord, and the Sith Lord is going to be someone like Plagueis or Tenebrous? Now let me know down in the comments below all your thoughts on all of that, and if you enjoyed this Star Wars video, this Acolyte video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Again, this is my first Star Wars video in a long time, but I would love to make more videos like this. I love theorizing, I love this great mystery that has been teased. I can't wait for the show, so let me know what do you think about all of this down in the comments below. But also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.